Okay. So my name is Dagmar Oktaptsova, and I'm a spiritual healer, teacher, author, and speaker. And I facilitate what I call quantum healing with people, also known sometimes as Akashic field healing and or multidimensional healing. And I also do a lot of past life type work. And today I have with me here Neha, who wants to share with you her experience with me as a healer, as well as with the concept of quantum healing and what it has done for her. So Neha, tell us, where are you calling from? And tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm calling you from Dubai, and it's interesting that almost a month back, I was just trying to find a way because I knew something needs to be healed, something needs to be done. And I was going through websites and I was just drawn towards Dagmar's website. Something was there which, I don't know, just made me call her up right away, because the best thing is she has an option of free consultation call now. So I just gave her a call, we spoke, and she's very kind with her time. Like, the call is 15 minutes, but she gave me 1 hour, without any obligation, explaining me things without knowing if I'm even going to work or not with her. So, which I really appreciate. And that's how we started working.
Okay, great. So you're actually calling from Dubai, so which is awesome. That the technology, right, today that we can do this across continents, right?
Exactly. Like, people only talk about the bad things, but there are so many good things about having technology.
Right, yes. And so can you tell me or tell the audience what was the issues that you were dealing with that you started looking for a healer in the first place? What did you want to resolve?
Okay, so for me in my life, I just noticed, like, I'm 32 now, so I just noticed a repeating pattern in the relationships and in the jobs.
Okay, and what was that? What was the repeating pattern for you?
The repeating pattern is actually, I couldn't figure out, but that's what we figured out in the first session. So the repeating pattern in the relationships was either lie or like a betrayal.
Okay, all right.
So that is something was really interesting, because I could feel there is a repeating pattern, but what was it? Was we only able to figure out in the first session we did.
Okay.
And maybe we will reach on the pattern of the jobs really soon. But I just always felt an urge that something needs to be fixed in the relationship area.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. And so did you try to heal this before with, say, other healers or psychics?
Yes.
Okay.
I have spent thousands before.
You have?
Okay. That I got broke. So yes, I've been to like many people, like I've been to like, so I don't believe in like medicines for things. I just believe everything can be fixed here in your mind.
Okay, so into the spiritual world more or less.
Yeah, I'm more towards the spiritual world. Even if I'm sick, like physically sick, I just find a way out to fix it without taking a medicine. So like there are no medicines in my house, for example. There is no medicine, nothing. So if you come to my place, you have to bring your medicines just in case. So
well, you and I are actually very much in alignment about that.
Yeah?
There's a lot, yes, because a lot of my health issues I've been recently taken care of without any medication, without any doctors. Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah, just basically fixing and nurturing myself back to health. And I've had some severe issues. So yeah, so we're very much in alignment about that. Okay. So what was your experience with these other healers? Did you fix some of what you were trying to fix?
I would say, first of all, please stay away from scam healers who are using Instagram for one free question, and they make a fool out of you because they will make you take your decision based on fear. So a big no for them. They just took the money and they make you more fearful.
Okay. How do you recognize somebody that's a scam healer? What would you say?
They will not have their photo. They will hide their identity. First thing.
They will do what? I'm sorry, say that again.
They will not have their photo out there on their Instagram page. They will hide their identity. Okay. They will use a pseudonym. They will offer you one free question reading. So for free stuff, we always run. But once you reach out to them, they will put so much fear in your mind that you will end up paying them.
Okay. So you can recognize based on the fear they're instilling in you as they're talking.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. And
Okay.
so not them, they don't work at all. They take your money, and then which makes you doubt the real, genuine spiritual healers.
Right. You're totally right. I mean, there's a lot of scam artists out there, and you have to be careful.
Yes.
That claim to know stuff that don't know stuff, or they just take your money. And I mean, I've run into them even personally myself.
Yeah,
So
I remember.
yeah, So then I
But other
remember
things
when.
worked.
What's
Yeah,
that?
please go ahead.
So I remember when we first met, when you first came to me, you were in lots of pain, emotional
Yes.
type pain, okay, in regards to your relationship.
Yes.
Um, and so, have we healed some of that? How do you feel? I mean, you've had what, 2 sessions with me, right?
Yes, I had 2 sessions with you, and I'm waiting for the third one. Like for me, it became like really exciting after the first session. Oh, when I'm gonna have the next session, because I know maybe I'll feel a little uneasy after the session, but then the result and the background is really good. So it's really amazing that within 2 sessions, I have seen lots of positive changes in me happening on its own. So what I realized that when I'm working with you compared to all the people I've worked in the past is that you are helping me to clear my mind, like creating new space. Sorry, my camera went away.
Yeah, you're
So
good.
it's like you're helping me to clear my mind. So there is a lot of fresh air, fresh energy, and a lot of space for me to do new things. Like suddenly after the first session, 2 days after that, I just thought maybe I need to cut my hair and have a fresh look. And maybe my room needs to be more organized. And I started decluttering a lot. I became better at work. Like I was good, but now I just feel I'm much better because
It made
I
you
can
more
think.
productive. It made you more
I've become
productive.
more productive.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
in fact, yeah. So like for me, I was like, this was the biggest change which I told you about, that as we all are working from home right now, I used to work from my bed. I mean, I knew it was unhealthy, but I just couldn't bother to sit on a chair and work. But after the session, I just decided, and I did set a really nice workstation, and that's where I'm having a call right now. So now I have a proper workstation, and I work from here.
That's awesome.
And my work has got really better, like compared to April to now. It's really good. Like the clients who walked away are coming back. It's interesting. It's really interesting.
Wow. So your
The change have been profound.
energy has completely changed, and you're now attracting people rather than repelling them and so forth.
Yes, I'm attracting them back, and it's like those even like who gave negative feedback that they don't want to continue the work with us, they came back with a negative positive feedback that yeah, there was something negative, but there are lots of positive things about it, and we will reconsider.
Okay.
So
Nice.
it's one of the biggest change I have noticed. And yeah, so setting up a workstation, decluttering, my mind is more clear. I'm doing a lot, I'm working a lot more on myself, and that's why I'm always excited for the sessions. And the most crucial or the most significant result I've got is the pain or the urge I had to reach out to my twin flame has really reduced,
Oh,
which
that's
is what
wonderful. Yeah.
I was looking for. That
Okay,
was the
great.
reason to call.
Okay, great. So let me just, because for the people who don't know what a twin flame is, let me just explain a little bit. Basically, a twin flame is someone that we originally were born as one soul with. And at some point in time, we split into two and became two whole individuals. So literally, your twin flame has the other part of your soul, basically. You both are made from the same material, if you will, from the same canvas. And so consequently, there is a lot of interesting dynamics between twin flames. Like, we have this amazing unconditional love between each other, okay? And twin flames tend to come together for the purpose of healing and growth and helping each other advance as a soul. And, but quite often, because we've lived many, many lifetimes with our twin flames, we also accumulate baggage, or what I call unresolved experiences with each other. And so that is what contributes sometimes to this intensity between twin flames. And it sometimes manifests in the way of having this tremendous urge trying to be around them. And it's like it's like a magnet, okay? And I remember, because I had my own experience with twin flames, it's like with my personal twin flame that I've met back in 2005 is what I meant. And so it's like kind of like this life-size magnet in the room that just sucks you in, and you're just holding on for dear life. And it's just very powerful, very intense. I've never experienced such intensity with anybody else. And it can turn your life upside down. It can cause you lots
Yes.
of pain because they're connecting you to the deeper issues that are really inside of you, because they're mirroring exactly who you are. You know, they have that
Yes.
100% mirror, and that's what makes it so intense. And so, you know, when we actually do a healing like we've done on you, Neha, what happens is that when we actually heal the pain behind it, you know, so we're taking that intensity out of this. Okay, so like for example, I remember in my early days, I confused this intensity to want to be with my twin flame with love. It's not love, because I actually healed myself out of that intensity. And then what was left was the pure love, and it feels different. What pure love feels like is you don't have a need to be around them, first of all, because a need doesn't come from love. A need comes from a space of weakness, a space of pain. Okay, so the actual pure love is not a need. It's sort of a compassion, if you will, for that person, an understanding. And it also allows you to allow them to live their life, but you don't have to be near them.
Yes.
So like in the case of my twin flame, you know, I basically healed myself out of this intensity with him, and then was able to let go of him and allow him to live his journey. That was a very different journey from my journey. And I was able to allow myself to live my journey. And it was all based on pure love. I will always love him. And it's an allowance. Okay. It feels very different than this whole intensity and stuff that we sometimes confuse for love. So it's interesting you say that urge to need to be around him, and that pain, you know, to missing him and all that stuff, that has actually reduced as a result of the healing. That's exactly.
Yes, definitely. Much better. Like it's not 100%, it's a long process, but it has reduced to quite a good extent, and I can focus more on work
Yes, and
and myself.
yeah, and I mean, we just did 2 sessions, right? I mean,
Exactly.
just to think about, you know, how much pain we have accumulated over lifetimes, right? Probably more than
Right.
2 sessions worth. So, you know, this is very effective in terms of, you know, healing the underlying pain that's causing you the dysfunction in your life and the dysfunction
Yes.
in the relationship, so that now you can actually focus on yourself and your growth, and, you know, you're blossoming into the person that you came here to be in this life.
Yes,
You know,
true. I totally agree.
yeah. So is there anything else you would like to share in terms of anything else that it's done for you, the healing sessions? Or what did you
Yes,
think of
I
the
would.
process? Or what did you think of the process and stuff?
It's an interesting process. It's a really interesting process. I've never worked with like color therapy and quantum healing. It
Mm-hmm.
was really interesting. I didn't know that everything I can see here, because I thought for me it's very difficult to do past life regressions.
Mm-hmm.
But with Dagmar, there is something about your energy that I'm able to do it,
Awesome.
which is interesting. And one more thing I want to tell everyone, that only we can heal ourselves, and a spiritual healer like Dagmar can facilitate the process for us.
Yes.
So if you are going to go to someone and they say they're going to fix everything, pay me, and it's done, it's never going to happen, because to get over something, to release a fear or a pain or a struggle or a trauma, you have to face it first. That's why they say face your fears. So you have to face it, my friend,
Yes.
to get over it. Yeah.
That's a very good point that you're making there, because in this whole spiritual healing arena, you have to be willing to face your fear. Yes. That is the premise of the whole thing. And all it takes is just acknowledging, looking at it, and it's gone. Okay.
Yeah, and have an open mind. I mean, if somebody will come with a closed mind, they cannot get the result no matter how good the healer is. We have to have an open mind.
Right.
We have to trust.
Right.
And yes, just go ahead with it. So for me, I'm gonna suggest whoever is watching this video that give it a try. Have a consultation call at least, because you know what you want. Your gut will guide you if you need to do this or not. So
Right.
yeah, that's
yes. Well, thank you so much for that. And then also wanted to ask, you know, who would you recommend this type of healing for?
I will recommend this pretty much for everyone. Like, we all have fears, we all have trauma, we all have issues, we all have baggage. There is no one, I think, on this earth who doesn't have it. However, again, the result will, like, those who are actually open to it will get the result.
Right.
But I will recommend this to everyone, irrespective of the country or the culture you are from. And with technology, you can do it on Zoom. Like, I don't need to go to US all the way to work with Dagmar. We are doing it online, which is equally okay. Yeah, this is very important. The result is same as it would have been in person.
Yes.
So
very good.
yes.
That's excellent, because sometimes people wonder if it's different because you're not in person, or some people feel like they need to be in person. But the fact of the matter is that spiritual stuff doesn't have a space, you know.
Yes.
You don't have to be anywhere. I mean, and the way we're doing it through a process of communication. So I don't have to touch or do anything other than communicate with you. And yes, you're absolutely right. I facilitate your healing. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. You know, I facilitate it. Hopefully you're following my instructions. And as you're following them, you're actually healing yourself within yourself. Absolutely. And you're absolutely correct about anybody can use this, especially in these times. These are actually the kinds of times where, you know, we need to offload our past unresolved karma, because we're trying to ascend into a higher vibration as globally, all of us. And we can see on this COVID-19 pandemic, for example, how much fear people are in, and how much fear drives everything. And fear really is more dangerous than any virus, I find, because fear stops people from living.
Yes.
And, you know, what's the purpose in living life if you can't live it, right?
Yes,
and so, you know, and fear comes from a place of pain.
Yes, true.
And so when we heal the pain behind it, you can evolve above the fear and live a way better life. Okay, if it's not done by pain and fear and all that stuff. So absolutely, I would recommend this also to anybody, because right now everybody can use this. Everybody can use, you know, rising above their fear, above their pain, and so forth. So we can all globally live a better life. And that's what it all basically boils down to. But yes, you have to be open. You have to want this. You have to be willing to face your inner self and face your fears and face your pain. So absolutely. So thank you so much, Neha, for doing this interview with me, for sharing your experience. And, you know, I'm sure people will benefit from it greatly. So thanks again.
Definitely, because you're doing an amazing job. So I can't recommend you enough. Like, I've been telling my friends personally in Dubai as well. So you may get more calls from Dubai now.
That would be excellent. I would love that. Okay,
so
so
thank you.
Stop the recording here. So hold on here.